Hello, everyone. My name is Mark, and welcome to this new episode of the mitoPodCast. For those of you joining us for the first time, the mitoPodCast is a new program that we hope will build awareness in the mitochondrial medicine, research, and patient advocacy community on topics related to mitochondrial disease and health, as well as to highlight cutting-edge research in the field. Our audio format episodes are approximately 10 minutes in length and will feature the exciting work of an expert in the field in a way that can be understood by all in the community, regardless of educational background. Included with every episode will be an infographic summary of what was discussed, so please check that out as well. Today, we are thrilled to be joined by Dr. Andrew Haller. Dr. Haller is an adjunct lecturer with the Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology at the University of Toronto. He is also an Industry Outreach Associate with Clinical Trials Ontario. Dr. Haller is also the founder and CEO of a startup biotechnology company named Phoenox Pharma. As you'll soon find out, and in this episode today, he does some extraordinary and innovative work there. Dr. Haller, welcome to the mitoPodCast.
Thank you, Mark.
We're really excited to have you on the program today. Can you explain to our listeners what the impetus was behind the creation of Phoenox Pharma? What unmet need does your startup fill?
So the story of Phoenox starts back when I was a postdoc at Princess Margaret's. I was studying a drug called evofosfamide for colon cancer. It belonged to a fairly well-studied but rather unknown class of drugs called hypoxia-activated prodrugs. Hypoxia is this phenomenon where tumors tend to have low oxygen for various reasons, like metabolism and the cells outgrowing the vasculature. So the way that these drugs work is that they use this low oxygen environment to deliver a payload. And in this case, the vast majority of these drugs, it's a chemotherapy agent. The problem is it's the wrong cells for the wrong payload. Hypoxic cells tend not to be sensitive to chemotherapy agents as we know now, but they didn't know at the time. So at the same time, I was studying metabolism and the mitochondrial's role in tumors and hypoxia. You see, mitochondria are what use oxygen in cells during respiration. Also, if you think about classical poisons, what comes to mind? Arsenic and cyanide, and these are both mitochondrial poisons. So generally, this is what Phoenox is working on. I want to deliver a different agent, mitochondrial poisons, with this same hypoxia-activated prodrug approach. So essentially, hypoxia-activated mitochondrial inhibitors. And you asked what the unmet need was. So cancer is the unmet need. Mm-hmm. Besides immuno-oncology drugs, there hasn't been very many targeted agents to make a huge impact on patient survival. I thought my drug design was good enough to give it a try.
So thank you for that. With what you said in mind, what do you think Phoenox Pharma's contribution will be to the field of mitochondrial medicine? What are some next steps you'd like to take as the company progresses? Also, how can leveraging the use of artificial intelligence expedite the drug development process?
Well, when most people think about mitochondrial medicine, they would like to fix the mitochondria in some way or support its function, like in many rare diseases. I'm doing the opposite. I'd like to show that mitochondria are a good drug target for killing cancer cells, and I think that they'll be very effective. It's through designing small molecules that hit targets in the mitochondria that we can further understand the mitochondria's role in health and disease. And how does artificial intelligence help with this? Well, I've partnered with an AI company, Cyclica, in order to design small molecules against various mitochondrial targets, and many of these have this hypoxia-activated trigger, which I mentioned in the first question. So small molecule drug space is impossibly huge to think about. Some say it's on the order of 10 to 60 molecules, which humans cannot explore this on their own without computational support, and we certainly can't synthesize all these molecules and test them against every drug target and every disease. So with the aid of Cyclica, we've designed molecules that we think hit various targets, and right now I'm in the process of synthesizing a few of these in order to hit a few of the targets, specifically for pancreatic and breast cancer. And so AI represents an accelerated start. So they gave us a kind of a head start to design some of these molecules and test them in a few conditions.
Wow, thank you for that. So, as you obviously know, the development of novel treatments for mitochondrial disease is not easy. In your opinion, and from an industry perspective, how can we move forward in a fast and productive way?
Technology is a big one, as I just mentioned, and probably the answer most people give, and rightly so. So I'll go in a different direction. Clinical trials are such an imposing barrier to the development of new medicines. There's a saying, it takes 20 years and $2 billion to develop a new drug, and at approximately 90% failure rate, this is simply unsustainable. We need to do anything to make this process more efficient. This includes more innovative trial designs, to better patient identification, especially in rare diseases, to more interconnected data networks, to more open data policies. I feel like the state of the industry is currently doing patients a disservice. Policies could be loosened, drug approvals could be made easier without risking patient safety and the quality of trials.
It is really interesting to hear the work that your company does and how your company uses existing artificial intelligence platforms to accelerate therapeutic development. Now, turning our attention to the value of collaboration, why do you think a collaborative network, of researchers, clinicians, industry partners, and patient advocates benefits mitochondrial medicine?
There's always opportunity at the intersection of fields. Different people bring different experience and play different roles in the drug development process, especially today. Curating and bringing a community together will accelerate these connections and collaborations. I think one place this impact will be seen in the earliest stage, and where mitochondrial medicine should benefit the most, is through researcher and trainee entrepreneurism. It wasn't until I left the lab and got exposed to the health innovation ecosystem of Mars in Toronto did I try launching my startup. Getting PhD students, postdocs, researchers out of the lab and talking to people is important, because this is ultimately, it's their science which drives new medicines. Exposure to industry professionals and clinicians will educate them on the how to do this, and exposure to the patients will show them the why.
Thank you, Dr. Holler, for coming on the program today and discussing your fascinating and innovative work. Before we wrap things up for this episode, do you have a final message for our listeners? And where can listeners contact you if they would like to learn more about your work?
So my final message is collaboration, creativity, and confidence is the key. Curing diseases is too important to not do it.
Right.
And you can contact me at andrew@phoenox.ca.
It was so interesting to hear the work that you do with Phoenox Pharma. Before we end this episode, I would like to thank all our listeners. If you have any comments or suggestions for future episodes, we would love to hear from you. Please head on over to our website to download our episodes and to see the upcoming events we have for this year. We have some exciting initiatives planned, so please stay tuned. Thank you all once again, and tune in to our next episode featuring another expert doing exciting work in the field of mitochondrial medicine.
Thank you, Mark.